So let's start today's video. We're doing a research asked by one of our viewers. So I read the comment. Can you do some more videos about Kalamaja, especially focusing on houses and prices on streets Kalju, Uus-Kalamaja, Salme Köie and Ole? Thanks. Okay, we will look into Kalamaja, but maybe not that specific streets, but in a general, because Kalamaja is not that big. It's maybe it's a few people are living there. So here it is. I've opened already one of the biggest sites, and here is Kalamaja, as you can see. And we can let me see if we are in English. Yes. But here is you see this märgi ala. So let's mark the area. Let's move it. So you see we have most of Kalamaja. And confirm. They have not translated this part for some reason. And here we are getting those properties. So what we see first, arendovать. Why it's still in Estonian? Okay. Let's see the first property. 230,000 euros. I can already see here we have 5 stars. That usually means that it's kind of desperate to sell, because the higher stars you put, the more it brings your listing upfront. So 5 stars means quite an interest to sell quickly or to sell at all. Here we also see a discount 8,000. If you buy this home, then you get 8,000 euro costing kitchen, which is kind of usual. Quite often they do it quite often, from time to time, some kind of campaigns. Okay, but when I click on this link, it was interesting. It was still in Estonian, so I changed it to English. So we see 50 square meters, first floor out of 4. Historically, first floor was not deemed a big benefit, maybe even not, because of security reasons, that somebody can get to your place from the window. But these days, and maybe in the future, it will be a benefit, because old people don't want to climb stairs. And if you have only 4 stories or 4 floors, that means that there's no elevator usually. A energy class, and that is good. These days is very important, but you have to bear in mind that for the new buildings the A energy class is only on paper. So in the future it can change and become worse, because then they do a new evaluation after 3 years based on real energy consumption. A energy class, A energy saving class is generally means that the building has to produce energy, not only save. So maybe some solar panels, or usually how they do it. High ceilings, that is good, but you have to bear in mind that we have a cold climate, so 9 months you have to heat this space up. And for example, if your floors are 2 something, that's extra space to heat, so expect higher heating bills. It gives more space, but everything comes at a cost. Okay, that's the arendovать place. Second is also arendovать. This is a smaller developer. I know that building, it's close to the tram tracks. and it's more expensive. It's a smaller developer. Endover was 4,600 and this is 4,900, so almost 5k euros. Let's change to English. So also A energy class, second floor out of 3, 62 square meters. So yes, here on the map you can see, do we have the map? Where's the map? Here on the map you can see there are a lot of railroad tracks, and the tram track is also close, but otherwise it's a good area. Okay, small developers, they can be really good, but also there is a risk, especially when the prices are increasing quickly or decreasing. Especially on the decreasing part is very dangerous, because maybe they had big costs on the way up, but they did not manage to make the calculation, then they go bankrupt on the way down. So this is a thing. Usually it's a good thing to see if the banks are financing them or how they are financing them. It's important to look into to see how big are your risks, so beware that. I'm not saying that they're bad ones, but people have lost their money before. So Endover, there's a new developments a lot. Let's skip those. So 2 stars. Oh, this is even 6,000 euros, again Endover. Highly unlikely to be sold at that price, but who knows. What do you have? Kalarana 21. That's another developer. I thought they have sold everything in Kalarana. No? YIT Estonia. Floor plan. Let's go through it. Corner apartment. Is that a view? That's just a view from... Bit strange. I don't like these kind of photos, because what does it show? Nothing. Just the project. So is it ready or not? Let's change to English. Price includes storage room and parking space. Okay, that's good. Usually these are like priced separately, so that's why the price per square meter looks more expensive. But actually you really have to look into those details, because sometimes prices are not comparable. For example, somebody has a lower price but without the parking. The other includes the parking in the price, so always look into that. That's built 2022, so it should be ready, or what? Architect Urmas Muru, okay. Mentioning the architect means maybe, or maybe this is a good architect. Energy class? No energy class rating, so why didn't you put energy class? How can I compare? Okay, skip this one. Let's see something from already built. LVM, this is a wooden house, so it's maybe renovated. The house looks renovated from outside. 1 star only, so they're cool. They don't want to overpay to be the first. 1 star is generally okay. When we do the listings, we also do put 1 star, because it's good to differentiate yourself from the pack a little bit. But if I don't want to put more because it kind of shows desperation. So they have a client day, or like it's called open house. Although in Estonia it's not really an open house, you still better register if you want to go, because quite often you are not going to find a realtor waiting for people there to show up. If nobody registers, nobody will be there. Okay, it looks nice. White, brown design, couch, wardrobe. When you are looking at photos of properties, you have to bear in mind that they are made with a wide-angle camera, especially if it's a professional realtor, so everything will look a bit bigger. So this means a small apartment for close to 4,000 euros. Maybe at this point you'll be better off buying something in a newer building, but sometimes you see the money might be a problem, so you would like to buy in a better building, but those prices start from 200,000 and here you have 89,000, so 90,000 is like the most common entry-level properties which you can get from loan with this average salary in Estonia, in Tallinn. So if you haven't had a long work experience, like usually they give you 90,000 in the beginning. So obviously no energy rating, first floor out of 2, future proof for old people, and yes, really small, 22.7. Only 10 apartments in the whole building, which generally can be good. You might know all your neighbors. So let's go further. 4,000 euros per square meter. Volta 32. That's interesting. Volta is a good area. It's like tucked between two major roads. Okay, so what do we see here? A lot of pictures on the wall. Nice design. I can see that these are not plastic windows, but these are original wooden windows, so that's good, because usually plastic windows in those older houses, they just ruin everything, the climate and everything. So I like this one. They have a stove, so this is like for heating, this part, so you can heat with wood, which is kind of a good thing to have these days, given the threats we face. Okay, imagine a war. If you have electricity or central heating, that's it, game over. But with this wood heating, you wouldn't notice it. No. It's like, okay, I like this one. 4,050 euros per square meter. I think this is a good choice. One bedroom. Here you have also, what is this? Gas. You have gas. So you have wood for heating and gas. And obviously you have electricity too. So that's great. So I would definitely recommend this one. Although it is a bit strange. You see, there is a shower in the kitchen. Okay, I understand why is that, because quite often in the older wooden buildings they just did not have a bathrooms built in. So where were we? Yes, at this property where the bathroom is in the kitchen. There's a shower in the kitchen. So if you're living alone, that might be okay, but usually it's a bad idea. Its resale value is not great, so this is not a great property at that price especially. But let's also look maybe more into the area of Kalamaja, because this kind of look through you can do yourself too. But look at the PõhjaTallinn, it's like a peninsula. So one of the biggest issues it is that it has few roads in and few roads out. So for example, if you're planning on living there with a car, not the best idea. You'll be sitting for a long time in those traffic jams. But if you plan on using the tram or the public transportation, is great, although bear in mind that sometimes for some big events or sometimes the trams also break, then there's no transportation. So if you are using the tram, have a bike, or be aware that be mindful that the tram might not work when you need it. With me it happened several times. But then I went into my Segway and the problem solved. It was when I was going from home. But if it happens when I'm in the city, obviously I will use Bolt, these scooters, or a taxi, or just walk. It depends how quickly I need to get home. So that's kind of a specific for this area. And it's kind of big, and it was underdeveloped for quite some time. And this part, Kalamaja, is the closest to the old town and to the city center. It's actually now like a city center. It has this seaside area also, you see, and a lot of it will become like a promenade. So this is a good thing. They are making another road from the old town. Let me see if I can see it. So they are making another road. Where is this? From here I think it goes straight to there. So it will be a great walking path towards the sea. It is becoming more and more popular, but for Kalamaja I see some bit of a problem. Those people who moved there years ago, when it was a very quiet area, they are moving out because it got too crowded and maybe too expensive, because the prices rose in Kalamaja the most in recent years, more than Old Town, more than Kadriorg. This has huge growth in real estate prices. One more thing about Kalamaja is also that for the old buildings, most of them will have either heating by wood or by gas or by electricity, and giving today's situation, that's not great. But let's continue to the review. Generally, I think, let me just move it, it has potential, but I see even more potential on those areas which are out of Kalamaja, so further away. So what is next? What is this? It's a new Kotzebue 33. Okay, I think that's already an established building. 4,500, kind of expensive. Kinnisvara, energy class C. Seems a bit expensive for C class. Do we have floor plan? No. Modern, although brown is not the best choice. TV in the kitchen, kind of a strange place. What are you going to eat, or where are you going to watch this TV from? Okay, maybe from here. Big windows. Obviously, A and B energy class, they usually don't have big windows, but you have bigger the windows, lower the class. That's a rule of thumb. Design. Kind of mediocre, nothing special. Bathtub, if you like bathtub, great. Yes, this is an older building, but it's a good area, quiet. 4,500, 2014. Energy class could be better, but it's a stone building, so I don't know how good insulation can be put there at all. So let's close this. Again, Endover, they have most of the buildings there. Okay, Tööstuse 77, let's see this one. 2,587 per square meter. Now we are talking. That's much better. Let's change to English. Remax, okay, nice photos. These kind of dividers, I don't like them, but that's me. It's 71 square meters and studio. That's not great. 70 square meters can be 3-room apartment or 2-bedroom apartment. This is only one. Not great value, because if you want a 1-bedroom apartment or living alone, then it could be smaller. Then 40, 35, 30 is enough. But otherwise, what are you going to live by yourself in a 71 square meters? Not that many clients will want that. Energy class A. So that's it. But actually the price per square meter is low. So if you want to make it as a project, to do it a 2-bedroom apartment, that might be doable. But you have to do maybe replanning or just see the original plans, because it's highly unlikely it was planned as a 70 square meter studio. So obviously it was redone. The windows, can't see if they are obviously maybe aluminium plastic combination. The tiles here are like old style, not great. Kitchen modern with shower. Shower is like a selling point these days. What is this? These are the doors, the corridor. Okay, it's an older building. Definitely take a look at the roof, and if they have a good building union, what are the bills. Otherwise, after all, this is not a bad choice. Okay, 2,800. Client day, 1 star. Manufaktuuri 18. Manufaktuuri is like these streets were named like Manufaktuuri makes to produce something, to manufacture, and there were big factories nearby for cotton, for linen, for these kind of things, and most of those areas were populated by workers. So I don't see outside photos of the building. Is it new or old one? New one. Elevator. Great. Apartments with elevators. Big thumbs up, because of the aging population. That's it. No need to say anything more. Storage place, cheap one. Okay, I understand this. But 4,100, this kind of a new building, I know it. Most of this building is owned by a bank, LHV, like they have a fund, investment fund, where they invested a lot of there. And so they are rentals. Most of those are rentals, which actually they have quite high rents compared to the area. But on the other hand, you have the peace of mind that nobody's going to be selling your apartment you are renting, and you can rent it for extended periods of time, but you can be sure that they are going to raise the rents every time they can. So it will be constantly rising. You can't like rent and 10 years pay more or less the same rent, which is kind of often if you rent a regular apartment from an owner, because usually they don't want to bother. For example, if you you are not making any issues to the owner, he kind of forgets you, and he is happy to receive a little bit of money to cover the bank loan, and for him it's a long-term project anyway, so they tend not to raise the rent, not to go through the hassle to find a new tenant. But if you are renting from more like a professional investor, they will be looking at the prices quite often and can raise your rent also more often. B energy class, that's good, but price point, I don't know, expensive. No floor plan. Maybe let me change to English. Do we have parking? Beautiful views. I don't know how beautiful they are. There are going to be a second part of this Manufaktuuri where they are going to build new apartments, and it will be huge. It will be a building site for 5 years to come. And I don't know when are they going to start, so you have a view to this part. Let's see parking. I'm doing like this. Parking. No. Do you have parking? Parking place extra 7,000. Nah. Okay. Usually parking place, if it's priced separately, you can also try to negotiate that. Okay, I'm buying, but I want the parking price in the price. Okay. So, more or less you got the logic of how I think on area, and you can do the search yourself. You saw the website. Just from the photos you can see a lot. Okay, thank you for watching, and see you in another video.